Hello everyone, welcome to PHTV Channel 4 in Palos Heights. I'm Sue Jankowski and we are here with the Travel Show. I hope you are enjoying this show as much as I am because I really look forward to hearing about all the great places that I can go and you can go too. And as always, Kathy Janes from Class Act Travel in Worth is with us. Welcome today, Kathy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for coming because Kathy always brings with us with her a great guest, and we have the return of Katie Cannizzaro. Did I say that right, Katie?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. It's a hard one.
Yeah, it's a great one. And Katie comes to us from Royal Caribbean, which, you know, you've seen those commercials on TV about Royal Caribbean and how great that looks, and I can attest, it's been a while since I've been on a cruise, but it was pretty great when we were on a cruise. So we're really excited to talk to you today, Katie, about everything happening on Royal Caribbean.
Lots happening.
All right. Well, we before the show started, we started talking about the newest ship, and I swear Royal Caribbean always has a newest ship. Like they are employing shipbuilders galore to build
We're keeping the economy going in the shipbuilding world.
Great. So tell us about the new ship.
Good. Well, Symphony of the Seas is our newest and the biggest cruise ship at sea. And she is debuting right now. She started sailing 2 weeks ago in Europe for the summer, doing 7-night round trip Barcelona. And then she's going to come over here in November, which we are so excited. We're building a new pier in Miami, which is huge because it needs to hold this huge ship. And she will then be home ported in Miami and do a 7-night Western Caribbean or a 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise.
Nice. So they're going to work out the bugs in Europe.
Yeah.
Bring it over when it's all ready.
Send her here. Yeah,
that
right.
sounds good. Okay, and they would need a new pier. I mean, if this is the biggest ship, you know, on the water, they really do need that.
It's 228,000 tons. Now, last time I was here, I talked a little bit about our newest ship then, a year ago, which was the Symphony's sister ship, the Harmony of the Seas. And just to kind of outdo her, this ship is only 1,000 tons more. I swear, just about 5 feet longer. So we can still say now this newest and is the biggest.
Nice.
And she holds more passengers. 6,100 passengers.
Wow. Now, you know, I think that number can sound a little scary.
Yes.
But having been on a ship with a huge number like that, whether it was 5,000 or 6,000, I don't know, it doesn't feel like that at all. It doesn't feel like you're with so many people.
Well, there's so many places that people can go.
Yes.
I mean, with the ship being that big, you can go hide somewhere and there's not going to be anybody there. That's the neat part about that.
Yeah,
is you
really
have
great.
enough little nooks and crooks and
That's
crannies.
exactly what I call them. We're supposed to call them 7 neighborhoods, is kind of how Royal Caribbean would like to name these and so on. But I call them nooks and crannies.
Well,
it's like a city. You know, you don't feel the million people in Chicago.
No.
And here, some are in the ice show, many are in the casino, some are lounging by the pool, some are watching the dueling piano. So there's always some's watching the beautiful. Mamma Mia is our Broadway production that we have on here. All complimentary.
Cool.
So there's always something for these 6,000.
Going to the new restaurant called Hooked.
This is our new restaurant. We have 25 ships, Royal Caribbean, and we do not have a seafood restaurant. We have a sushi restaurant. So with the
that's
new,
kind of funny, isn't it?
So with the new Symphony of the Seas, we decided we needed a seafood restaurant. It's called Hooked. It's supposed to be kind of like a New England theme, so you can get clam chowder, you can get lobster rolls, and so on. So it's been very popular in the last 2 weeks. There's a messy fish sandwich, which is supposed to be out of this world. And if you look and read some of the reviews online, everyone at this restaurant talks about that messy fish sandwich.
So they really, really like
Yes.
it. What kind of amenities, what kind of we look forward to that maybe would be a little bit different than the other ships on this new ship?
Yes, so really it's the culinary that is talking about it. So let me go through a little bit about what we're doing. So we decided to kind of up our game. Cruising and food go hand in hand. You know, long gone are the midnight buffets, and cruise ships are really trying to have something for everyone. Fine dining down to ice cream, down to the nightlife and the bars. And really, so food is kind of where we decided to concentrate on this ship. So a little bit about what we also didn't realize we did well was a sports bar. Excuse me. So we came up with the theme Playmakers as our new sports bar that's on the Symphony of the Seas. And I get this question all the time. You probably do too. Can I watch the Super Bowl? Can I watch the World Series? It used to be very hard on the cruise ships because you're out in the middle of the ocean. we now have put in satellites and so on so that you can watch any game you want in Playmaker
That's great
Sports
for people
Bar.
who really
Isn't
don't
that
want to
cool?
miss their sports games.
Yeah.
And it's
that's
going to
great.
have a lot of
Yeah.
microbrews because they're very popular and kind of bar-themed appetizers. So that's really fun.
Good.
And then what else is new is Sugar Beach, a new candy store and ice cream shop. Isn't this cute?
I love it.
Is also on the Symphony.
Nice.
And then we're kind of revamping some of our casual dining. And this is El Loco Fresh, which is going to be Mexican. And it's complimentary. It's going to be back by the pool deck, so you could go have a taco or a quesadilla all day long.
That's neat.
And then
That's
really
a great
hooked
idea.
seafood.
Oh, and everybody loves Mexican food. It's so delicious. And
yes.
seafood, you're on the water.
Yes.
You kind of want that.
And the one exciting thing that we don't have on some of the other ships is laser tag. All of our big ships have an ice skating rink, which they hold 700 people, and they do a fabulous ice show, kind of old school, like
That's
the Ice
cool.
Capades.
Yeah.
And I just cannot believe the ship is moving, and these people are skating, and the ship's rocking, and it's unbelievable, this ice show. And the one we're doing on the Symphony is we did the drones, very similar to what they did at the closing ceremonies of the Olympics. And the ice and the drones turn into like virtual reality, and it looks like you're in the ocean with waves. It's unreal, our entertainment.
Wow.
But also in this venue, we're doing laser tag, which fun for the family. You know, Royal Caribbean really is known as the family cruise line. So we have lots of activities on these ships, and you think they're just for kids, like our zip lining.
Yeah.
They're
But
not.
no.
All adults of all ages. Kids can't even get on because the adults are having so much fun. It's unreal. I sat and watched all day, like for a couple hours one day, of the zip lining that goes through the middle of the ship, and it was all adults.
And I think that's the thing that's so surprising about, you know, I don't know, maybe everyone's been on a cruise or maybe you haven't been on a cruise, but it seems like, well, what are we going to do? I had someone say that to me once, well, you know, what are we going to be doing all day between things? I'm like, oh my gosh, what aren't you going to be doing?
Right,
You know,
right.
there's a million fun activities to do or not. I just want to lay
It's your
by the
choice,
pool.
right.
I just want to look out at the water.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can have breakfast in your room. Or,
No,
you know,
absolutely.
whatever. So it's a great venue for people who really want an active vacation and people who don't.
Right, right.
It's your
There's always
choice.
some, and I think that's why Royal Caribbean so successful and has welcomed so many families on board for celebrations and multi-generational, because you could do what you want all day long. You could do it all together, or you could, everybody do what they want, and those that would like to lounge by the pool can, and then you meet up for dinner. There really is a little something for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Explain about when you say you have a balcony that looks on the outside, but it's the inside. I mean, that's kind of very
Yes,
confusing, and
yes.
I don't know how else
Well,
to.
with the ships these large, of course, there's a wide variety of staterooms that guests can book into. And some of them are your traditional, majority of them are your traditional staterooms that overlook the ocean with a very nice balcony. However, also in some of the neighborhoods, our Boardwalk neighborhood and our Central Park neighborhood, which are inside the ship, there are balconies that overlook those neighborhoods, and people really enjoy them because Central Park is a little roving street with all kinds of trees and real birds. I've seen them. Sometimes I thought we piped in the music, birdie music, so you feel you're in Central Park, but I really did see some birds. And you can open up your stateroom doors and look and sit on your balcony and listen to the music. It's very nice, and it's just something that might be a little more reasonably priced. So it really has a stateroom for everyone's budget. Then there's some that overlook the boardwalk, which are kind of very active. Our boardwalk is at the back of the ship where our Aqua Theater is. And and there's a merry-go-round, and Johnny Rockets is back there, and lots of kind of fun things for kids. So those neighborhood balconies people really enjoy. Some of them you can even watch the water show from your balcony.
I've heard.
And we give you little amenities in those staterooms, those neighborhood staterooms. You get wine and a gaming lesson, a poker lesson, as
Cool.
well as lunch at one of our specialty restaurants, lunch or dinner. And then in the boardwalk, they're more set up for families. So you could get a soda package, a rock climbing private lesson on our rock climbing walls, and lunch at Johnny Rockets.
That makes it lots of fun for
Yes.
families. So, and then besides those type of things, there's also even more economical rooms that are just straight up inside. So if you're looking for something, like we will never stay in our room, so we don't care that our room faces water or has a porthole.
Yes, and
or,
a lot of people feel that way because the ship is almost a destination itself, and the staterooms, they're there to sleep. So we have wonderful, reasonably priced interior staterooms. Some even have a movie screen that is a live feed to outside. They're called our
Really?
virtual balcony staterooms, and you can actually watch the ship pull in and out of port from your stateroom.
Oh my
It's a
gosh.
huge, you open up your curtains and it's a movie screen.
Wow.
And it
Isn't that
really looks
cool?
like outside.
Wow.
And you can turn it off if you want to sleep.
Yeah.
But it just kind of gives you that feeling that you're
outside.
Yeah,
that's really fun.
kind of cool.
Boy, they've really come up with a lot of things. So now to book on the Symphony, if you really wanted to be on the largest ship and see these great new things, really you really have to start thinking about it sooner than later, because I would think this would be very popular.
Yes, it is very popular, and the Symphony is selling, is doing well. So yes, it's best to book way in advance. And if the price does go down, and you work with the travel partner, such as wonderful Kathy, they'll just adjust your rate for you. Never fear that if it's locked in, you can't get a better deal. If there's a sale or something that goes on, absolutely, we'll just adjust that price for you.
Yeah, which
but
is
to
great.
really get what you want to book in advance.
Yeah, yeah.
We just did that for clients that are going next year in March. I believe it's March, and we just did that for them because they booked under one sale, but then this other one came along and it was better.
Yes.
Switch over right away.
Okay.
There are a lot of
great.
sales out there.
Yes, you
It
do
can
guys
be
have-
overwhelming.
You do
That's
have a
why
lot
it's
of sales,
important to
yeah.
work with the travel partner, because you'll monitor it for them.
Yeah.
Well, and just looking, I mean, you brought these very sturdy booklets.
Yeah.
But in here, it maps out like every single trip coming up, the ship, what you can expect, and so on. And Kathy can help you with that too, because sometimes you're like, well, where do I want to go, and what islands do I want to see? Or, there's other places, that you might want to go that Royal Caribbean goes to
Yes,
also.
we have 25 ships around the world. Really, what's very popular for cruising outside of the Caribbean, which we like to say we own since it's in our name.
The
Yes,
Royal
But we
Caribbean.
have two wonderful ships in Alaska. A cruise is a great way to see Alaska. And then Europe, we have 7 ships in the summer season in Europe. It's a
Wow.
great way to sample different countries without ever unpacking and really get a feel for Europe and the different areas. And then if you want to go back and explore one country more, you can. So a lot of people, and especially with children, like a cruise for Europe. They get to see things, they get to spend the day in Rome, and then the next day, they're spending the day in another port. And then also we have some cruises in Australia and New Zealand,
wow.
as well as Asia.
Wow.
Could you do a little bit about the Cuba ones that you have going
Yes,
right now?
yes, Cuba's very exciting.
Yeah, because Cuba is
a
still
destination
exciting.
in the
Okay.
Western Caribbean.
Yeah.
We have 2 ships doing Cuba. You could get a little taste where you just go for the day to Havana, or we have some cruises that actually have 3 stops in Cuba. So you could do Havana overnight and then Santiago or Cienfuegos. And definitely want to work with the travel partner on your Cuba cruise.
Yeah, so you get to the right places.
So you get to the right
and
places.
see what you
You
wanna
do need a
see.
visa to go.
Oh, you do.
Very
There's
reasonable,
few- yeah.
$75. Cruise lines take care of it for you.
Are they still doing that people-to-people thing?
Yes, but you
Okay.
just do a shore excursion.
Okay.
We have one of several you choose from, and that checks the box for that for the
that
Cuban
does a
government.
license that you have to
Yes.
deal
Yeah,
with on
okay.
that, because it's a little people just can't go to Cuba.
Right.
They just can't hop a plane and say I'm going to go to Cuba and,
Yeah.
and visit. Can't do that. Can't do that. It has to be done with a cruise line, a tour company, somebody
Right.
that has the right license to do it.
And
Yeah.
the guest feedback that we're getting is just unbelievable. It's what did you say when we were talking about earlier? It's kind
Yes.
of just stands in time.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
just the cars are wonderful. The food is amazing. It's very reasonable. They love Americans. They're so excited that these cruise ships are coming.
Yeah,
Finally. Finally.
People, yay!
Yes.
Okay, so if you're going to say you're just going to go to the Caribbean and that's what your destination is, where are your points of exit? We're Midwesterners, so where are we
Yes.
going
Yes.
to do this?
So we do have to get on a plane to go to those places. But Royal Caribbean's great. We do have 2 ships in New York, Bayonne, New Jersey, which is drivable for those that don't want to fly. It's about 12 hours. And we have 1 ship there year-round. We have a ship in Baltimore, which is also drivable. And then going down into Florida, we have lots of options. Port Canaveral, which is Orlando. Lots of great air to Orlando. So that's always a little more economical for those big families that are traveling. You could go into Orlando. You can actually do a package with Universal on us and then go get on one of our
That's
ships.
cool.
Either a 3, 4, or 7 night. It's about a 45-minute drive and from Orlando Airport to the ships. And then Fort Lauderdale is a very popular cruise destination and great for us with Southwest Air.
Oh,
The
yes,
airport, you can see the
absolutely.
ships. 5 minutes to get over to the ships. You could walk it if it wasn't major highways.
And dragging your suitcase behind
Yes,
you.
dragging your suitcase up the platform.
Yeah, right.
So then Miami, we have lots of options in Miami. We have a ship in Tampa, and then Galveston. We have a ship, sometimes 2 ships, depending upon the season, for the Caribbean. Then Alaska's out of round trip Seattle, which is nice because that air is a little more reasonable as well. And then if you wanted to do a land portion of Alaska, you could do your cruise. You start in Vancouver and you get off in Seward, Alaska. Or you could start and do your land portion first, what we call a cruise tour, and then get on in Seward and come down and get off in Vancouver.
Okay, so there's a lot of options as far as that goes, and of course, any of the trips to the, really across the whole ocean. You're not. I mean, I see on here is a transatlantic, but
People love our transatlantic. So our ships never sail empty. It's really interesting. And so when we move the ships, we create a cruise out of that. And there are people, there's really a following for those cruises. They're very reasonable.
They're reasonably
because
priced.
They're reasonably priced.
They have to move the ship anyway.
We have to move the ship.
They call it repositioning cruise.
Yes.
So you have to move the ship from here to there.
Yeah.
So why not offer this at a lower price for
Yes.
people, and people can do this, and it's making money for them because they're going to move it anyway. It's got to get to the other destination.
Sometimes you're 3, 4, 5 days at sea, and
And
guests
people
love
love it.
that
Yeah.
because they think the service is top notch. The crew gets to know them, waits on them,
and really, that would be a really relaxing cruise
Very
because
relaxing.
you're just looking out at that water. and
Yes.
That's
Yes.
about it.
Yes.
And then you're enjoying the things on the ship.
Yes.
Yeah, and the ship besides.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's really kind of a cool
Yeah.
way to do it.
Yeah.
Quite a few people like to do that.
Yes, they do. They
think
wait
it's
for
neat.
us to announce those deployments, and they quick book them when they're at the cheap prices.
Oh, okay.
Kathy can find those for you
I didn't
as well.
really realize they did that. Okay, so now we book a cruise no matter where we're going to, and then outside of that, there's lots of things to do on the ship, but you want to get off the ship. Most likely, and see what you've gone to look at, whether it's an island or you're in Europe or wherever you are. And then so there will be excursions.
Yes.
Now, how do you go about deciding on or finding out about the excursions that might be appropriate for that
Yes, so
family?
in every port we offer lots of shore excursions, and a travel partner can help you decide what's best for you. What's good about us too is we code them by physical activity level, because some just want to sit on a bus and sightsee. Some, we're known as the Adventure Cruise Line. They want to get out and kayak and climb Diamond Falls in Jamaica. They really do
They
want to
wanna
be
do
the
something.
active.
Wanna get
Correct.
busy.
So
Yes,
there's lots
right.
of options. Now we do allow, they are open for sale prior to you getting on your cruise. So if you want to, swim with the stingrays in Grand Cayman, that's very popular. You absolutely should book
Do
that
it.
pre-cruise.
Yeah.
But if you don't really know what you want to do, that's the great thing about cruising. You can plan as much as you want, or you can just wing it. I like to wing my vacations. My life is very planned. So, but for those that want to keep it planned,
Yeah.
they can absolutely plan every hour pre getting on cruise. But I like to get on and kind of see what I want to sample
Yeah.
and so on. And then we do have a shore excursion desk where they can go and sign up for whatever they want.
Unless there was something like swimming with the
Right.
with
If
the
you, if
yes,
you know
yes.
you
you
want
know
something,
you want to do that. You don't want to be
absolutely book
disappointed
it.
and not
Yes.
do that one thing.
We always tell people that if this is what you absolutely want to do, please book that ahead of time. Don't
Especially
wait.
in Europe or Alaska, where there are
Alaska,
very
yes.
popular tours
Yes.
that people want. And if you decide, I don't really feel like doing this, you could cancel 24 hours prior and get a full refund.
Yeah. So you're not, you can think about it, get it, and then it's okay to cancel it at
Yes,
that last
yes.
minute if
Yes.
you think, I'd rather do this or I'd rather
Right.
not do anything. In fact, sometimes I heard, and the couple cruises I went on, we did go on the excursion, but a lot of people did not because they said this is really great because
Yes.
we can just do anything we
'Cause
want.
nobody's
The
on
ship
the
is
ship.
empty.
Nobody's here, and they really enjoyed that. I think they were people who had done enough cruising
That they could do that.
They were just
Yes.
like, we've seen a lot, and we don't really need to do more right now.
And especially with the ships every year being more destinations themselves and all the variety of things to do. You don't need to get off. You can really enjoy the ship.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
one thing I try and tell clients when they come in to book a cruise, and it's just my own personal thought on this. I try and tell them, please book the shore excursions with the cruise line. The cruise line is going to know where you are
That's
at.
true.
Because you've booked this with the cruise, they've got a record of where you're at. If something would happen on that excursion and you're going to be running late getting back to the ship
ship
knows
waits.
it. So they can wait there for you for a certain length of time. Some of these, if you book on shore, which, and forgive me for this, could be a little cheaper, but the ship has no idea where you're at. They don't know, and they can't sit there
Can't
with
help you.
unknown.
And if that ship goes,
the ship goes.
I've had that happen with clients, and they have to then play catch up to the ship.
And it's not the ship's fault. We don't intentionally leave people. But
not,
I've been in Bermuda when a hurricane was coming.
And you gotta
we
get
had to
out.
leave, or it wasn't safe to leave. And it wasn't safe for a ship to stay there. It's sometimes like how they're parked on the piers, they can't stay there. They have to leave.
Because
and
of
we had to leave people because we did not know where they were.
And that's what I always tell people. And I grant you, maybe that shore excursion is going to be a little bit cheaper with that guy on the pier, but the ship
It's not
doesn't know
worth
where
it.
you're at, but it
No,
doesn't work.
it is not worth it.
The ship has, they researched this. They know what kind of people they're booking their shore excursions with. They know that they're reputable people. Please, 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 please do them with the ship. It's so much safer for you as a person on that ship. Much better off.
Right. And they're communicating with the ship, and that
Well,
is really
exactly,
true.
exactly.
Yeah.
If something happens, they know, hey, we just ran into this, we're coming, we're going to be, I don't know, 20 minutes late or
Right.
something.
And hopefully
They know
the
that.
ship can,
Correct.
can wait.
And you
Yeah,
don't always
exactly.
have to do an excursion. You can also just get off and explore a little bit on your own by
yeah.
walking around in
Right.
Nassau or so on.
Right.
And there, you know, you're not out. If you, they usually put it on the big speakers. We were on the
can't
beach in
miss it.
Bermuda,
Yeah,
like
right.
ship is leaving. Get back. So, but a lot of people
your
do,
butt back here.
do like to kind of just explore the town where the ship is.
Yeah. Yeah, because those are fun too. Okay, so I mean, there's lots of options here. Is there anything else you want us to know about Royal Caribbean?
Yes,
Okay.
I have to talk a little bit about our private island, which is my favorite destination.
Okay.
We have two private islands, one in Haiti, Labadee, but in the Bahamas, Coco Cay, which the Symphony will be calling on and many of our big ships call on. We are revitalizing, putting an amazing water park on there, a hot air balloon. It's going to be called the Perfect Day at Coco Cay. There's a wonderful
cute.
lunch buffet that's set up. I was just there,
Marvelous.
and they are sitting there chopping watermelons and cantaloupes, and you just eat. I mean, it's unbelievable. All that's complimentary. The water park and so on, and the hot air balloon and jet skis, there will be a charge for those. But you could still go and just, I like to find a palm tree and not be bothered by anyone and lay there all day long. Yes.
Yeah.
And the lunch is complimentary. We're building a pier there. Right now you have to tender in, which is little boats take you from the ship to the island. And that will really, because sometimes that area can be rough and the ship can't always stop there. So the pier will be done in August. So that's great for
Oh, that's
anybody
just
booked or
soon.
that wants to go. So that's very exciting. And then, because we took two ships that are now doing Cuba, we are taking two bigger ships and putting into Miami and Fort Lauderdale to do our 3-4 night. Our short cruises, which are wonderful. They're to Nassau and to Coco Cay and sometimes Key West. And they're a Friday, Monday, and a Monday, Friday. And those ships we're putting the Playmakers on and the Sugar Beach. And we're putting a phenomenal laser tag and bungee jumping with virtual reality actually up on the sports deck. We're putting water slides on them. We didn't really put a lot of water slides when we came out with these ships. And we're realizing with putting the water slides on the Harmony and the Symphony how popular they are. So we're going back and we are it's going to call Amplify these ships and putting on water slides and better sports decks and putting on these new specialty restaurants. Playmakers, the sports bar is going to go. So that's going to be the Mariner of the Seas, and she'll start in July 1 doing this out of Miami,
That's
3
amazing.
and 4 night, and then the Independence of the Seas will come over in the fall and do the same thing.
You know, and that's really great too, because sometimes if you're kind of doing your little research, you think, well, it's an older ship. It's not going to
Exactly.
have the things on it that a newer ship would have, and then you don't book those because of
Right.
that. But now if they're refurbishing and revitalizing them, that
we
is
want
a
to
good
have
thing.
the absolute best ship you can be on in that if you want to go on a short cruise.
That sounds great.
And short cruises,
great.
I know it's hard from the Midwest because you have to get on a plane, but you know what we're really good at with those short cruises? Bachelorette parties, weddings, 50th birthday celebrations, graduations. Not everyone can take 7 days off work.
Right.
And they maybe don't want to go to an all-inclusive resort because they think that they might be, bored or so on. They want a little bit more. So a cruise is a perfect option, these
It
3
is.
and 4 night cruises.
Right. And it's so great that you have choices. You can go for 3 days, you can go for 10 days, you can go for 14 days,
Yeah.
whatever meets your needs or wherever meet the needs of where you want to see and
Yes,
go.
yes,
Right? Well, that
yes.
sounds wonderful.
Good.
It's cool.
I'm excited about it.
Yep.
So
That's
Kathy,
cool.
Go
Yeah.
see Kathy, and she'll help you decide where you want to go if you don't know where you want to go. too many choices.
Yes, there are a lot of
This
choices.
is a book full of choices that you
Yes.
have. So do that, and if she has a question she can't answer, and I kind of doubt that because she does know
Katie.
that,
I got
she
Katie.
can call Katie, and Katie is the expert on Royal Caribbean, so you'll have a really great time. Ladies, thank you so much. Thank you, Katie,
Thank
for
you
being
for
with
having
us
us.
today.
Always
This
love
was
talking.
really great. Look forward to
About vacation.
seeing you
It's
again.
a fun thing to talk about.
Well,
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
And everybody likes to hear about where we can go next.
Well, they want to hear about the new things.
They do.
The
Yeah.
stuff that you're coming out with. I mean, that's exciting.
Right.
Because everybody just doesn't get that all the time. They don't
Right.
hear it. And,
No.
and TV can't tell you everything like you can.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
job. Yep.
So get out there and plan your trip. Plan it ahead of time because it's so fun to think about it. And we'll see you next time when we have another exciting adventure for you. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.